sought my soul.
My soul I could not see.
I sought my God.
My God eluded me.
I sought my brothers.
And found all three. Chris Flannery here with Brothers in Recovery and Clean Country Living. I'm sitting here with Jeremy Gray. How are you doing today, brother?
I'm great, brother. We're at Rob's Ranch. How could it get any better?
We're at Rob's Ranch. Tell us a little bit about Path to Miracles.
Well, Path to Miracles is a nonprofit 501c3. It was actually put into play when I was a client here at Rob's Ranch. We've talked many times. You know, I saw you come in here and visit with us and tell us what you were doing for the recovery community, and I just felt God tugging on my heart saying, you know, you need to talk to him and see what all he is doing. So when I left here, our mission was to raise money to help guys get into Rob's Ranch, and we've done that. You know, God's blessed us with amazing donors, just amazing. You know, we've had golf tournaments and concerts and in all different ways to try to raise money for guys, and people have showed up. They've showed up and helped and believed in what we're trying to do. So that's what we do with the money that we raise. You know, up to date, I think we put 35 guys assisted in them getting here to Rob's Ranch. So that's kind of how it started and kind of where we are today.
And I cherish the friendship that we have today because you've helped me out so much, and I love the fact that we can get together and talk and just iron sharpens iron, and we just feed off each other in a positive way, whether it's on the phone or in person. And the first 12-step call we did together at your kitchen table, the mom was there, and the young man was he was all in. By the time we were done, you know, being hyped up and recovery's a blast, you know, and it was just an amazing thing to be a part of. But the mom said, I feel like God has put two angels at this table today with us. And you said, that's just the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me. Yeah. But I'll never forget that. And we've gotten to partner up, Brothers in Recovery and Path to Miracles gotten to partner up and put guys in Rob's Ranch and do so much together. And you've sent me on some wild 12-step calls that I've just had a blast. And it's just been an amazing thing that we've let God nourish this friendship, and it's helped so many people. But like you said, God's in charge of all this. Chris don't have that kind of power, and I don't want that kind of power. I wouldn't know what to do with it if I did. But God uses us, and you know, for me, what I think it is old school recovery, which I learned from Bruce Kopp, and it's just been handed down, and I hope that that never changes. I hope that I stay in that mindset of, you know, I'm a boots on the ground kind of guy, and that's what I want to be. I want to be the one coming to them in the ditch and letting them know I'm no better than you. I'm the same as you. My story is the same as you. I love you. I'm here to help. Let's get you someplace that you can get the help you need. Rob's Ranch is kind of the center point to all of this. Dick Liddell started this a long time ago. Dick Liddell started Clay Crossing, and then he started Rob's Ranch. I kind of followed Bruce everywhere Bruce went, and without Dick Liddell, none of it would be possible. So we give him all that praise. God working through Dick Liddell. And his whole dream of having these guys find Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior has just been amazing to watch a Christ-centered facility thrive like it has because of Dick's dream. So
yeah, Rob's Ranch saved my life.
Yeah,
and it continues to save hundreds of others. I'm truly grateful for. What about you? Tell me how all the Clean Country Living, Brothers in Recovery came to pass.
I started Clean Country Living in 2008, October 2008, and I was doing, I was chasing the drug addict still suffering, and you know, I loved it. And I ended up working with the Jim Raleigh Outreach, and I would get guys that had relapsed, and they'd stay at the house for a month. If they could stay sober, they got to go back. And I was playing video games all night with guys that were high on crack, and I loved it. And it was a blast, you know. And I had found my calling, and so when I started in October of 2008, we started with 5 guys in a double wide trailer and called it Clean Country Living, and It grew from there to 2014. I got sick of the phone calls. I need help, but I don't have money. So we started the 501c3 Brothers in Recovery, and I think we've helped 27 get into Rob's Ranch. But the awesome part is helping them get into other sober living houses like yours, detox or whatever's needed, men and women. And I love doing it. I wouldn't know what to do if I wasn't. God has done so much in such a small amount of time. We just celebrated 10 years, and God has done so many things in that 10 years, and we've got to see so many lives change. And we just get sit back in awe of what God is doing, you know, and it's a blessing to be a part of it. So, but I think our friendship, to me, Jeremy, has been one of the best things that ever happened to me. You are definitely my best friend. And the fact that we do the same thing and we have the same heart, it's rare. And I do believe that it was a God thing, us meeting that day and us sitting down talking, and to see what God has made all this into is just, it can only be God. So no human being, I think, could take credit for what God has done in our lives, touching so many other people.
Oh yeah, and like you said, you said so many times, iron sharpens iron sharpens iron, and that's continually what's happening. I don't know how many times that I've called you and things weren't going right, or I was in a mess, or just wasn't good, you know. Life just was, I was in a season, and you were able to talk me out of it, and ask me how blessed I was. How blessed are you, brother? And you know, we'll hang up the phone, and you know, you think, man, you know, things are caving in, you know, life's not great right now, but how blessed am I? You know, I cherish those conversations we have. And then, you know, vice versa, you know, you're going through a season, and we're, you know, we're constantly able to lift each other up and remind each other how blessed we are, because, you know, when we're going through stuff, it's hard to see all the good things that have happened. But whenever you've got positive people in your life, like you and I do, and we're surrounded by it, you know, it's hard to stay on that pity pot for too long, because at the end of the day, we are blessed beyond imagine. So I'm thankful for that part of our relationship, and the loyalty that lies between us and Brothers in Recovery and Path to Miracles. And like you said, there's no competition. You know, we're all on the same team. The only thing we're against is the disease of addiction. So I'm grateful for that. You know, I can stand proud. You know, I can sleep good at night knowing that that's the only competition that we have is addiction. So I love you, brother, and I truly appreciate you.
I love you too, brother. I think that the strength and unity is a big, big thing for us, because like you said, we're not in competition with anything but addiction. I think we forget how blessed we are. I think that drug addicts themselves have a bad memory, and so it's good to have the accountability and remind each other how blessed we are. And getting to do what we do it's just hands and feet of God, and it is a blessing to get to do what we do. But I cherish our friendship and everything we've accomplished so far, and this is just the beginning.
Amen to that.
So, and you know, for anybody out there that sees this video, know that me and Jeremy got your back. If you're hurting, if anything's going on that we can help with, we're there 24/7. We're going to have, you know, Jeremy's got a lot of guys, and I've got a lot of guys that are out there doing footwork too, because that's what this thing is about, is helping the next addict, alcoholic still suffering. So if anybody's out there, what would you say to them if they're out there hurting today and have no hope?
Hang on, help's on the way.
Hang on, help's on the way. I love that. And I love you too, brother. Thank you for everything you do in my life today. I feel like we're closer now than ever, because we've gone through some of these storms together and got on the other side of it. And that's the thing, we're a lot stronger than we were to begin with. We've grown through it. So that's the blessing.
Yes, sir.
So love you, brother.
Love you too, brother.
Brothers in Recovery is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We have 2 mentoring homes in Newalla, Oklahoma. We exist to raise money for people who can't afford treatment, detox, or other sober living homes. And we exist to help the next drug addict and alcoholic still suffering.
Path to Miracles' mission is to help that guy that may not think that anybody wants to help him anymore. I myself was in a position where I had burnt every single bridge. I had used way too much of my family's money. on my addiction, and I didn't have a whole lot to turn to. I want to be there for those people. Path to Miracles wants to be there for those people who feel like they have absolutely nothing left. They have no one in their corner. That's what Path to Miracles is. Path to Miracles is that organization that will fight for that guy who has lost everything. They don't have to have money. They don't, they just have to be willing. And that's the kind of guy that we're looking for. That guy that's willing to do whatever it takes to better his life. And if that guy is willing to do those things, Path to Miracle is willing to stick their neck out and be a resource to help them better their life.
And the thing I can tell you about Brothers in Recovery and Path to Miracles is we don't give up on anybody because miracles happen every day. Both of us have mentoring homes. And a mentoring home means you have a mentor in the house that's there to guide the guys through daily life. It's not a democracy. There's somebody in charge. We look over the houses, and they're taught life lessons. Whether it's going to meetings every day, learning how to do their laundry, or go grocery shopping, finances, whatever it is. They're required to get a sponsor, work the steps, have a program of recovery, go to church, have a spiritual life. Does that sum up both of them pretty much? I mean,
it does. It does. The brotherhood, in my opinion, and I know in your opinion too, is the most important part of it. Unfortunately, we just went through a funeral with a fallen brother, but the brotherhood of guys that lived with this guy, that showed up. I mean, a lot of these guys had 2 and 3 years sober. This wasn't a forgotten part of their life. This is still very much, even though they don't live in sober living anymore, the brotherhood was still that important to them and that much a part of their life that they were there. And we're sitting there afterwards and we're eating lunch and we're fellowshipping, and it was like we still all live together. And it was so important that guys grab a hold of these relationships, and it's got to be important to them, And if it's not when they get there, if they give sober living a try and do what's suggested to them by the mentors, by the time they leave there, they've got a brotherhood unlike any other. And I think that's a very, very important part of this deal.
What all these houses to me are based off of is I sought my soul I could not see. I sought my God eluded me. I sought my brothers and found all three. And that's what I see with your house and my house. And both of us were there after that funeral, having lunch together at Johnny's, and great onion burgers. And but the deal was we were all there together, remembering and there for each other. And these friendships are going to last for the rest of our lives. That's what's the blessing about this. It's not like you move out and you move on, like you say. I want to know these guys' kids. I want to meet their wives. I want to be a part of their life for the rest of my life. And that's awesome that God has put that on us to carry and to give to others. But yeah, it was a beautiful thing, after the funeral, coming together and being there for each other and just lifting each other up and remembering the good times, because he touched a lot of lives. And that's not forgotten. He had a purpose here, and he did his purpose while he was here. There were countless lives that were touched by him. And like I said, his legacy will live on forever through these guys' lives. So it's truly a blessing what we get to do.
Oh yeah,
what we get to be a part of.
And you talk about brotherhood. I've got a funny story. Last year, she was 7 years old then. My daughter was playing the softball game, and all the guys had come out, and they're cheering, hooting and hollering, making a big old scene every time she got up to bat, every time she did something. And after her game, she goes to the concession stand, and somebody says, "Man, you sure have a big cheering section." And she said, "Yeah, those are my dad's brothers." And the lady said, "Oh, so they're your uncles?" And she says, "I guess you could say that." So that's how important. It's not just our brotherhood, it's our families get to be a part of this too. And our families know how important this brotherhood is. And even a 7 and 8 year old can recognize that. So it's pretty cool.
I have now, one of the guys in the house had a gender reveal party. And I'm sitting there with this young man and his girlfriend, and there's all these family members and this elderly grandma come up and she takes my hand and she said, I want you to look around this room at all these family members. This wouldn't be possible if he wasn't sober today. And she started crying, and of course I don't know any of these people that I'm in there with, and I'm about to start bawling, but I'll never forget that. She said, thank you so much for what you do. And you know, there again, we've got to give all the credit to God, but it was just, it's a memory that I won't forget. Watching the guys be saved, watching the guys be baptized and getting to be a part of that. Kids being born. I've got 2 coming up that these babies are going to be born, and I'm going to get to be there and be a part of that. That's amazing that we get to be a part of their lives and they're a part of ours, because it's the domino effect. Yeah. And it's integrated in everything, every part of our life. And so it doesn't get better than that.
It doesn't. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to sit here and us having this conversation. It's been a blessing, and I really appreciate you and everything you do for guys like me.
Well, I appreciate you, brother, and everything you do for so many people. I think that, you know, people need to know that there's some amazing stuff going on out there, and they're not alone. There's always hope. Never give up, because you don't know what the next thing around the corner could be. The blessing of recovery, and the blessing of knowing a God that is forgiving and is capable of anything. Never put God in a box, because God has done some amazing things in our lives and so many others. So I appreciate you taking the time out, brother. Come down here to beautiful Rob's Ranch, this holy ground, and just getting to spend some time with each other. Love you, brother.
Love you too, brother.